Back in 1994, I got asked by a guy I knew to help start and run a gorgeous little music venue in Denmark Street in London, and we called it the 12 Bar Club. However, that's actually a story for a different video. But the reason I mention it here was because even back then, I'd started to see a terrible new trend in the UK and London especially, where musicians were being paid really badly, if anything at all. Well, fast forward a few more years to 2000, and I could see it had got a lot worse. And so I made a difficult personal and business decision to pretty much stop playing in the UK, and I decided to concentrate instead of going to Germany. So I had a guy there, an old friend called Gerhard, and it was actually his idea in the first place. And thanks to him, off I flew. And soon I started getting gigs. And happily, thanks to his brilliant promotion skills, I started to find myself in quite hard demand over there. You know, the pay was good, German audiences were great, and most importantly, the money was excellent. Now, originally, I'd just gone out as a solo artist, me and an acoustic guitar. But then, happily, Gerhard, he knew a guy from Landshut near Munich who was called Klaus Brunner, or Professor Rock as he was known. And he had a band of his old friends and he played with. And after a bit of a chat with them, they became my backing band whenever I needed one. And I have to tell you, they were the kindest, sweetest people you could ever hope to meet. There was Wolfie on drums and vocals, Lenz on guitar, vocals and harmonica, Guinea on vocals, and Evie on bass guitar. And of course, not forgetting our musical director, Professor Rock himself, Klaus, on lead guitar. They were really a great bunch to play with. And so now we'd rehearsed, we got a set, and we started to play local gigs and festivals around Bavaria. One memorable, really good gig was a packed show we gave at the famous Schlachthof venue in Munich. But then, as if to prove I'd made the right decision to play in Germany, we got offered a spot playing the world-famous Bardentreffen in Nuremberg in July 2001. And so, of course, rehearsals began. And finally, a few months later, we took the stage one warm July evening on the Lorenzplatz, playing to a couple of thousand folk. One thing that really blew me away was just the week before, there was an article about the show in the big circulation Nürnberger Nachrichten newspaper. And the article ended, "Phil Ryan is playing, do not miss him," which I can tell you made me feel pretty good.
What you do, you see life, you make a fist and you punch it right in the face. Yeah? This is that song.
We'd worked out a set and we'd got my original songs and a couple of cover songs we thought the crowd might like. And so off we went and the show began. One slightly sad note here of that time. A girl I'd loved very much had just been killed in a tragic motorbike accident a month or two earlier. And so if I'm honest, I was still pretty much grieving, and I knew she would have told me to pull myself together and get on that stage. So of course that's what I did. I even sang a special song I'd written for her, but well, I broke down halfway through, of course. But somehow I got to the end of it, and the song of mine featured here in this archive video came directly after that. and I really want you to check out Klaus's cool guitar solo. Funnily, my favourite part of the show was at one point there was a massive cathedral directly in front of us at the back of the huge square, and it suddenly started chiming its bells around 9 o'clock. Dong, dong. But luckily it was in a part where I was just talking to the crowd, so I immediately told them it was a sign from God and they had to buy my album. Ha, quicker. But it was just such a fun night. Summer evening, great PA, great band. Ha, you can't beat it. And the energy of the last song, which is the one you're going to see, kind of ended the show nicely, I thought. But sadly, in a musician's life, all good things come to an end. And eventually the band connection just faded. But I can tell you, for a few years, we rocked. And I know it's a different style to what I do now, but God, it was fun. And of course, I think of them from time to time, the times we shared, especially that wonderful Bardentreffen gig. And I know it's another story from along my musical journey, but it's one I wouldn't have missed for the world. And on a interesting note, to my delight, at the end of that show, I met a girl, and we kept in touch for a few months. She came to England, I went to Germany. We eventually fell in love and lived together for 10 years. And love didn't last, not the distance. C'est la vie. But as always, music has seriously shaped my life journey on every level you can imagine. And in a way, that's why I'm setting these archive videos down here. You see, music has brought me the best people in my life. And I'm lucky for having that. And I'm not stupid, because I know it.